the full gratuity, the full service charge, the full tip has to go to the employees. The business can't hold anything back. This is the allocation of tips. It's called the Employment Allocation of Tips Act 2023, but there will now be further changes that will come into effect. This applies to tips where the business receives the tips and the business exercises control in how those tips are allocated. So in the past, if you had something like service charge, for example, you could keep a percentage of that service charge in the business, and you could also deduct breakages fee and things like that from it. You won't be able to do that anymore. All tips need to be passed on to the workers without any deductions. That actually includes credit card fees. So if the tips are left on credit card and you're deducting those credit card fees off each tip before you distribute it, you won't be able to do that. The full tip must go to the employee. You have to comply with the Code of Practice on fair and transparent distribution of tips. And this is where our fact sheet and our policy will come into place. And you need to make payments of the tips by no later than the end of the following month after the tip was received. I know a lot of our golf clubs have a process where they maybe pay quarterly for tips, or twice a year, or even once a year. They all put it in a pot and they pay it all out at Christmas. We have 1 or 2 clubs who do that. You won't be able to do that anymore. Tips will have to be paid out that sort of month in arrears and no later. You need to draft and maintain a written policy on how tips are allocated and dealt with. And this needs to be available for all of your staff. So this is something that we're going to give you that you'd be able to sort of add on to your handbook. And from next April, it will automatically be in your handbook because staff need to see this. You need to keep a record of all tips paid and their allocation. So all the tips you've received, the allocation and the payout, you need to keep a record and evidence of that for up to 3 years.
Thanks for watching. If you want a free tribunal audit of your employment contract and handbook, click the link in the description below.